Principles of Surveying Q&A Review. Question number 8. A deed reads as follows. Beginning at the point of intersection of the center lines of South Road and Winder Pass, thence easterly along the center line of South Road for 500 feet to a creek, thence northerly along the western boundary of Jacobs 1,000 feet, more or less, to a point of intersection of Jacobs Road and North Road. Note that Jacobs Road is senior in title to your property. Thence westerly along North Road 500 feet to the intersection of North Road and Winder Pass, thence southerly along the center line of said Winder Pass to the point of beginning, containing 13 acres more or less. This is a giant blob of text, and looking at it and reading it several times may not help you very much. This is meant to confuse you. But I would encourage everyone to hit pause right now and sketch out very, very quickly a picture of what this looks like, because a picture in this case is definitely worth 1,000 words. Your survey report will probably indicate which of the following calls to have the highest priority. And what is that reference? What is a priority? Well, this is referencing the priority of calls. The priority of calls is a rule of evidence which tells us that certain features on the ground or on paper are more stable, more reliable than other features. So use this and apply the priority of calls. If you don't quite remember them, we'll go over all of them in the next few slides. But before that, let's quickly glance at our picture of the property, and then let's talk about our 4 possible answer choices. A. Northerly along the western boundary of Jacobs, 1,000 feet more or less to a point in the intersection of Jacobs and North Road. B. Westerly along North Road, 500 feet to the intersection of North Road and Winder Pass. C. Easterly along the center line of South Road, 500 feet to a creek. And then finally, D. Containing 13 acres more or less. Now the question here is saying which of these 4 calls or which 4 pieces of this legal description has a higher priority than all the others, and why?
Like freebies? Subscribe to the NLC YouTube channel for free course previews, weekly how-to videos of actual questions, and lots more. Just click subscribe below. Make sure to click the bell next to subscribe to be notified of new video releases.
When resolving boundaries in the exam or in real life, it's important to appreciate 3 basic concepts. Number 1 is conveyances. Conveyances are about how land is transferred. And if we are in a situation of a sequential conveyance, like we have here, because remember, Jacobs is senior in title to your client, then if there is an overlap between the 2 properties, Jacobs will win. Why is that? Because Jacobs' survey came first. First in time, first in right. Concept number 2, priority of calls. Let's imagine a scenario where it says, go beginning at the iron rod, go north 1,000 feet, a bearing of true north, so true north 1,000 feet, to a creek. You go and survey that, and guess what? Your survey measurements today differ from the original survey. You measure it, and it's actually north 0005 east, 999 feet. So you're off by a couple of degrees, and you're off by 1 foot. What do? Well, you're going to go to the creek. Why? Because of the priority of calls. And we'll talk about those in the next slide. And finally, original versus retracement surveys. The original survey creates, and once the original survey is created, then you cannot alter that boundary. You, as the retracement surveyor, must follow in the original surveyor's footsteps. Let's focus on priority of calls in this video, and we'll definitely have more videos coming out for the conveyances and original survey concepts. Clark on Surveying states that the general rules of priorities, supported by some statutes and by case law, is as follows. Lines actually run on the ground. Calls for monuments. Calls for adjoinders. References to bearings and distances. And last but not least, quantity or area. Well, let's go back to our answer choices, and let's see how our different calls match up with Clark on Surveying. Northerly along, blah, 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 to an intersection of Jacobs and North Road. Roads are artificial monuments, so that ranks as number 3 in the priority of calls. Etc., westerly along, blah, 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 the North Road and Winder Pass. Again, this is another intersection of a road. Answer choice C. Easterly along the center line of road 500 feet to a creek. Creeks are natural monuments, therefore we have number 2 on the priority of calls, pretty darn high. And last but not least, containing 13 acres, more or less. That is the absolute bottom of the priority of calls, and therefore answer choice C wins. The answer is C. Easterly along the center line of South Road for 500 feet to a creek. And that creek will serve as a natural monument, and therefore C is the correct answer. Thanks for playing. Would you like even more great content on the Principles and Practice exam? Please join me at NLC Prep/PS for a full-length, completely up-to-date PS prep course where we go over every major PS topic in gory detail, and we teach you all the essentials you need to know to pass the PS exam on the first try. Join me at nlcprep.com/PS.